Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, we are going to be reacting to official NBA standing predictions for the Western Conference. Yesterday, I did the Eastern Conference. This is a series by Hoops Reference, guys. Link to his channel in the description below. So yes, I did find my glasses. I was wearing the sunglasses for the past 2 days. Only issue now is that now I have a freaking bitch-ass, like, mouth sore. And I saw like I got a lisp. So now I'm Lispy Flakes. So I just can't freaking win. Here we go, though. Let's go ahead and get going on this. Let me know in the comment section below what your playoff seeding is looking like for the Western Conference. Or if you want to go 1 through 15, do that also. Here we go, man.
Subscribe to the channel, as all support is
I did watch that first Lakers game. Lakers-Warriors. AD and LeBron looks dangerous.
Starting from the bottom of the standings and working our way to the top, the 15th place
John Morant had a pretty good first preseason game.
Will be the Memphis Grizzlies.
Had like 10 and 7.
Now, I'm actually
looks nice.
Very high on their young guys, as John Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Brandon Clark are all super promising.
Jonas Valanciunas too. I mean, come
when
on.
You're being led by youth like this, it rarely results in winning basketball games.
Yeah, look at Devin Booker, right?
Valanciunas broke out last year after he got traded here, but when someone like him is your best player, it's not going to win you many games. The future is bright, but the present is
they about 4 or 5 years truly away.
Next up in 14th place in the West, we have the Phoenix Suns.
With Ricky Rubio
Another
even.
year goes by, and the Suns have still made very little progress towards building a team actually capable of competing.
If anything, they've regressed.
They still have Devin Booker leading the way as one of the best role players in the league, and DeAndre
you all piss him off. You're gonna LeBron you
forward,
guys.
as most players do.
Take his talents to Miami.
Sophomore seasons, but in a conference as
like seriously, like if you don't start putting players around him, he's gonna LeBron you. And don't think he won't. Like, there ain't loyalty like that in the league anymore. Come on, man. So Phoenix Suns, like, you don't need to be knocking on the GM's door, be like, yo, get us some players around D-Book and Ayton, man. Do something.
As the
I'm just saying, that's how it's gonna be.
The roster simply doesn't compare. Ricky Rubio was a decent addition.
Yeah, decent.
Especially because point
would have been D-Lo, would have been better.
Summer, but he doesn't move the needle enough to actually put them in contention.
Better than Tyler Johnson.
Another frustrating season.
Eliokuba, who I actually do like.
At this point, I'm starting to feel bad for Booker, having to deal with this year after year.
Well, he only like be double teamed, so he's part of the problem.
13th place in the West, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder.
I can see them being higher than that.
On Russell Westbrook and Paul George last year,
could be a sleeper team.
They dismantled it after just one season.
Could be a sleeper
team.
Team.
Focused on starting over.
I'm taking OKC probably over the Timberwolves, guys. Just because like I love Karl Anthony Towns, but you know Chris Paul 20-point per game, so Gallinari, Shai Gilgeous if he continues to improve, Steven Adams. It's not a bad team. It's not.
As currently constructed,
it's not Russell Westbrook and Paul George.
Isn't that bad? With Chris Paul, Danilo Gallinari, and Steven Adams all still being able to produce at a high level. But the thing that concerns me is that I have a good feeling that they all might get traded at some point this season.
That's a good point.
And if the team stays together, then I would probably have moved them up a couple spots, but I just don't think that will be the case.
Yeah, not like a long-term thing going on there. Dallas.
Place in the West, we have the Dallas Mavericks.
I'll take them Dallas Mavericks over the T-Wolves. That's no disrespect to D-Wolves. I'm sorry, man. Coming off that way, but
Porzingis
just saying.
Is also returning from his injury this year, giving them 2 very promising pillars to build.
Unless Jarrett Culver's that rookie of the year style player.
Porzingis may take a while to get going back to his consistent play of old, because usually players coming back from serious injuries like that struggle for at least a little bit.
That's true.
The rest of the roster
He'll be good, though.
Some decent pieces such as Seth Curry, Maxi Kleber, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Tim Hardaway Jr.
Right.
But at most, I think this is a 35-win team.
Wow,
Up next, in 11th place in the West,
I got Dallas a little higher, I think, but I don't know, like
Karl Anthony
9th,
Towns
10th.
is one of the most offensively gifted centers in the league right now. Robert Covington is one of the most impactful defenders in the league. And Josh Okogie's tenacity on defense should continue to provide
and then it's everybody else.
But the rest of the team is filled with flaws and inconsistencies. Andrew Wiggins disappoints year in and year out, and Jeff Teague has been declining as a player lately.
He hasn't been in the league for that long to say year in and year out. I mean, he's had like some decent NBA seasons. Like he's been disappointing, but not year in year out.
They won't be bad by any means, and honestly would be in the playoff conversation
if
they were in the East, but they're not. And the West
in
is
the East they would be, yes, for sure,
for them to even come close to making the cut.
Yep.
Next up in
New Orleans Pelicans.
In the West, we have the New Orleans Pelicans. This is going to be a must-watch team on a nightly basis, with Zion Williamson in town, Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram being given more trust out of LeBron's shadow, and Jrue Holiday being a solid veteran.
Could be a big
with
adjustment,
borderline
though.
all-star production. They have a very interesting combination of youth and experience, and the style of play should be very fun. Their up-tempo style of play is going to dominate the transition.
Derek Favors, guys, watch out for him,
and
man.
create a
He might be
ton of
something for this
highlights
team,
that'll
too.
get spread all across social media. Most other years, I would have a team of this caliber in the playoffs, but again, the West is as loaded as ever, so unfortunately, they fall on the outside looking in. Next up in 9th place.
There we go, man. I said San Antonio Spurs in a video. I did my own predictions on my main channel, Crispy Flakes. I said San Antonio at number 9 and Sacramento Kings at number 8, man. People roasted me, so I'm thankful that, man, somebody else sees it.
And representing the
damn, bro. Spurs fans always coming at me, too.
Playoff spot is, for the first time,
you don't respect my team. Well, somebody got me the 9th spot.
97. The San Antonio Spurs.
Damn.
The team has gone 22 straight
Spurs fans
years
do not like me,
without
though.
missing the playoffs.
And they think I disrespect,
and while
but
I definitely wouldn't be surprised if they continued that streak, I think this is the year that streak snaps.
Yep.
Sure, DeRozan and Aldridge are still borderline all-stars. Derek White is developing into a very nice player.
One good playoff game.
And DeJounte Murray is coming back from his injury this year, and they will definitely win more games than they lose. But even with all of that said, there are still 8 teams better than them in the conference, at least in my eyes. Starting off with
number
the
8
playoff
Sacramento
seeds
Kings.
Now,
That's who I had
in
too.
8th place, we have the Sacramento Kings.
All of Marvin Bagley's listed at like 5'11" now, so we lied about a foot about his height.
The Kings currently have a streak opposite of the Spurs.
He's the new Isaiah
as
Thomas,
they have missed
that
the
lefty.
playoffs in each of the last 13 seasons. But also like the Spurs, I like this to be the year that streak snaps. De'Aaron Fox took a big leap as a player last season, and this year, I think he's going to be firmly in the conversation to make his first All-Star game.
Most improved player, too. You can see that,
has become
for sure.
One of the best shooters in the whole league on the wing, while putting up over 20 points nightly. Then players like Bagley,
shoot it, right there. Shoot it. Okay.
Ariza,
Dribble, I guess.
Dedmon, Barnes, and Corey Joseph round out a strong 8-man rotation, with other pieces like Rashawn Holmes, Harry Giles, and Nemanja Bjelica.
So you got like Harry Giles really break out too. Harry Giles could really break out.
Laughing stock for a while, but it finally seems like they're ready to turn a new leaf. Next up as the 7th seed in the West.
So you guys cannot get too angry here when you like 7 sounds disrespect for the Portland Trail Blazers, but keep in mind there can be like 2, 3, or 4 games separating you between like the 2nd seed and the 7th seed. So just keep that in mind as he goes through this here.
We have the Portland Trail Blazers. They made it all the way to the conference finals last season, so this may seem pretty low for them, but quite frankly,
y'all see Shaq's new diss track about Damian Lillard? Another one,
other
man.
Team ahead of
Another
them
one.
Improved in some capacity. They lost Al-Farouq Aminu, Mo Harkless, Seth Curry, Enes Kanter, and Myers Leonard, then replaced them with Kent Bazemore,
Not bad.
Hassan Whiteside,
Not bad.
and Anthony Tolliver. The
I love
defense
Anthony
from
Tolliver.
Harkless and Aminu is going to be greatly missed, because while Bazemore is a nice wing player,
Zach
to have
Collins
in
though,
rotation,
he could really
he definitely doesn't bring it as hard on
improve
D as those
even
guys
more.
did. Additionally, since their starting center Yusuf Nurkic is going to be out for a good chunk of the season, relying on Hassan Whiteside is a disaster waiting to happen.
Or a promising
They're
thing waiting to
still
happen.
enough to make
You
the
don't know.
playoffs because of Dame and CJ, but I definitely like plenty of other teams to finish ahead of them. Next up in
Golden
6th
State.
place in the West, we have
Respectable.
the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors no longer seem like the unbeatable super team they had once been. And
I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, yes, I expect Golden State to make the playoffs. Oh, but there's things about that team that let's just continue. Let's continue.
parity in the league is better than ever because of it. Klay Thompson is out for a majority of the season. The role players are not nearly as strong as
They had
have been
Omari
years
Spellman
past
at damn
on this
center.
team. And Steph Curry and
Hopefully that's not
D'Angelo
long
Russell
term.
in the backcourt is going to lead to some defensive struggles. Offensively, they'll still be dangerous because Curry and Russell are both elite shot creators, but overall as a team,
Let's say Curry averages 30. D'Lo averages 25. That's 55 points according to my math calculations. Where's the rest coming from? I don't have an answer to that question. People are like, well, Draymond just dropped 17. No, well, he's not that type of
they're
player.
no longer world beaters. Up next, as the 5 seed in the West, we have the Los Angeles
Damn,
Lakers.
I have Los Angeles at like
yes,
3.
LeBron James and
Fifth.
Anthony Davis are
Bold, man.
arguably the
Very
best
bold.
duo in the league right now, and that's going to be must-watch TV on a nightly basis.
Number 5 for
But
LA.
the reason I have them as low as I do is that I have some serious concerns with the rest of the roster. Rajon Rondo still being the team's starting point guard is problematic.
I don't think there's
because
anything
his
wrong with
pairing
that.
With LeBron last
I like
season
Rondo.
was a mess. Kyle Kuzma is a bit one-dimensional on offense and struggles a bit on defense. Dwight Howard was a decent addition, but he hasn't actually impacted winning games in years, and the rest
True.
of the roster is mediocre at best. When the playoffs come around, the LeBron-AD duo very well could prove to be too tough to...
Don't be surprised, guys, if by the trade deadline, if a guy like Kuzma's not fitting in, don't be surprised if they trade him for a veteran. I'm just saying, I know Laker fans love Kyle Kuzma, but assuming the team's not off to a good start, that's really the only trade piece they have out there. They could really solid get like a solid like point guard, shooting guard. Like I could see some sort of Kuzma, other pieces in exchange for like Bradley Beal. I could see something like that truly happening.
to stop, but for the regular season, they're
Maybe
going
even take
to
on John Wall
experience
also.
at
I
least
don't know about all
some
that,
growing
but-
pains.
It'd be crazy.
Next up at the 4 seed in the West is the Denver Nuggets.
I had Denver number 2.
Now, while the
because of
Lakers
chemistry.
seem to be built for the playoffs while expecting some regular season inconsistencies, the Nuggets are polar opposites. This team is going to win a ton of regular season games, but the playoffs are where they'll need to prove themselves. Jokic single-handedly makes any unit a top-tier offense.
That small forward
They have
spot
a
will be
very deep
interesting with
bench.
Porter.
Jamal Murray is developing into a strong go-to scorer, and Michael Porter Jr. is the biggest mystery in the league at the moment that could provide
He could be
very
rookie
big
of the year,
benefits
man.
for them.
He could be rookie of the year.
Next up in third
I got Denver over Utah. I definitely, I probably got Denver and the Lakers over Utah. I got Utah at probably
place
5.
in the Western Conference, we have the Utah Jazz.
That's a little
The
high for
Jazz,
them.
me,
That's a little high.
Are the biggest sleepers in the West. They've had a ton of regular season success in each of the last 2 seasons, and now this year, they made 2 massive additions of Mike Conley and Bojan Bogdanovic. Donovan Mitchell should continue to improve. Gobert's a 2-time winner of the Defensive Player of the Year.
They will be a nice
and
team,
Joe
don't get me
Ingles
wrong,
is one
but
of the best shooters out on the wing, making this starting lineup very balanced and filled with talent. They have the shot creators, they have the spacing, and they have the interior presence, and they've got a very good chance to make a deep run this year. Coming in as
Clippers
the
at
2
2?
seed now, we have the Los Angeles Clippers. The Clippers very well may
Who am I not thinking of? You got Houston at number 1?
be the favorites to win the championship this year, because top to bottom, this team is loaded. They brought Finals MVP Kawhi Leonard and All-Star Paul George in, both of which are dominant.
Let's hear 'em
on
out,
both ends
guys.
of the
Let's hear 'em
floor.
out.
And adding those 2 guys to a team that won 48 games last season is going to take them to a whole new level. Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell very well may be the 2 best bench players in the league. Patrick Beverley's a pit bull on defense.
Clippers
And
number 1,
Landry
guys.
Shamet has shown the ability to knock down threes at an elite level. Paul George is going to miss some time to start the season,
But not a
and
big
Kawhi
deal amount.
Leonard tends to preserve himself for the postseason.
This team without Paul George and without Kawhi Leonard got the damn 8 spot in the Western Conference last year. This team is number 1 for sure.
So I don't see them finishing with the top seed, but they'll still be very good nonetheless. And finally, finishing atop the conference this year, we have the Houston Rockets.
Damn, dude. Houston
James
at
Harden
1.
showed he's capable of winning games by himself last year, behind historic scoring numbers. But this year, he won't even have to do that. Bringing in someone of Russell Westbrook's caliber is going to be massive for the...
But you need to account for like those first 20 games or so when they're figuring things out. Like they are going to lose games that they probably would win with a complete like 100% chemistry circumstance. Like it's gonna take time. I'm sorry, it just is. Like that's just how it is.
Rockets,
I don't know.
because he too can
That's all I can say.
create shots for himself and others at an elite
It's not
level,
gonna be beautiful at
which
first.
is exactly what ball handlers in Mike D'Antoni's offense need to be able to do. They've got shooters everywhere spacing the floor for those 2 guys. Capella
Like I think the chemistry of James Harden and Russell Westbrook is gonna take more time than the chemistry of Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, I guess is what I'm trying to get
was
at.
still manning the middle, ready to catch lobs at any moment, and in transition, this team is going to be tough to stop. The worry of Harden and Westbrook clashing doesn't seem to be as big of an issue as some think it might be, because they've played together in the past and are very good friends.
Yeah, they have, but James Harden was a sixth man, and he wasn't a former MVP, and he wasn't, one of the greatest shooting guards of all time at that point. So
they'll do whatever they have to do to make things work. And with that being said...
Okay, guys, that is the end of the video right there. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, like, I respect that he, like, backed up his rankings and stuff like that. Like, that's fine. Everybody has different opinions on it. It's just not my opinions. I felt like some of this was, just not really what I was going for. So you guys do want to see I did a podcast on my main channel, Crispy Flakes. You'll see it was, like, my first one I did. It was, like, less than a week ago, something like that, man. Go check it out. It was like NBA power rankings if you want to hear my thoughts and stuff on that, man. So yeah, thank you guys all so much for watching. Give me yours in the comment section below, and peace out, guys.